Yeah! MSB fighting music, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, UFC 320 is upon us. We are about 40 minutes away from all of the festivities, 2 title fights, all of the fun stuff. And I'm really looking forward to this event. And I'm really looking forward to chatting with all of you guys as we lead into another UFC pay-per-view event. It has been a long time since we've had one of these, and that just makes us a little bit more excited. But thank you for joining us for the People's Pre-Fight Show. I am Mike Heck, and we got a very special guest joining us today, and I'm very excited about this. And judging by the comments, you seem to be very excited as well. I've been on this man's show about 837 times over the last couple of weeks, but now Submission Radio is here on the People's Pre-Fight Show. Your friend and mine, Denis, is here. What's up, my friend?
Yo, what's up, man? It's good to be here, bro. It's great to be here. I'm coming off the heels of a wonderful celebration just a few hours ago. The people that know Submission Radio know Casper. He had a surprise wedding just last night. It was a beautiful dinner where he announced he was married. So, man, how happy am I for him? Congratulations, Casper. It's good to be here, Mike.
Yes, congratulations to Casper. That is great news.
Surprise dinner, man. Surprise dinner, and then it's like announcement. Hey, we got married. Hey guys, one of those ones. Awesome.
So you had no idea this was coming?
No idea. Just me and some of the other closest friends and some family. And congratulations to him and Hamid, a beautiful couple. And yeah, awesome to see.
Tip of the old cap to Casper and Mrs. Casper. So Denis is familiar with how the show works. If you're new, it's very simple, ladies and gentlemen. We turn the programming over to you for the next 38 or so minutes until the fists start flying in Las Vegas. So fire in the questions. We'll get into as many as we can. And of course, the super chatters, you are the VIPs, so to speak. Everyone's waiting in line. They want the velvet rope to open up so they can get in. If you're a super chatter, you cut the line, you piss everybody off just the way we like it. So let's get right into this thing. And this is probably a good question for you, Casper. Joseph asked, do you expect the UFC to bring Carlos Ulberg in the octagon to face off with the winner of the rematch between Ankalaev and Alex Pereira tonight? So Carlos Ulberg in a very interesting spot right now, did his job, knocked out Dominic Reyes last week. Of course, there is a pretty fun and fireworks-filled matchup on this card between former champion Yuri Prochazka. Everybody loves Yuri. Khalil Roundtree just fought for the belt, just beat former champion Jamal Hill. So Ulberg could be next. I don't know if he is 100% next. I think it might depend on who wins this fight, but I'm curious where you see Ulberg, if he's rooting for one fighter or the other here. And do you think Ulberg will step inside the octagon before the card ends tonight?
Yeah, it's an interesting one, man. Like last week, I was in Perth, spent that whole week with Ulberg. He kept talking about Ankalaev, didn't really mention Pereira. I said to him, dude, why aren't you talking about Pereira? You're the fresh matchup for him. And in my mind, I also thought Ankalaev, like probably a harder matchup for you. But I think that he will 100% try to get in the octagon. I think that he would prefer. I think he wants to fight Ankalaev. Isn't that weird? I think him and his team have been focused on Ankalaev. I think they believe he's going to win this fight. And I think he's going to get in there and try and do his thing. He said he's like under the radar. He's been going under the radar for these like 8 fights up until this 9th win just in Perth. And I think now he's going to start really going for it and promoting himself. So it's hard to deny a man on a 9-fight win streak a title shot, but I guess we'll see what happens with Yuri and Khalil. Plus, like Yuri and Khalil, it's like going to be a war, right? Like likely a war. So those guys might be out for a little bit. You can maybe slot Ulberg in the meantime. I don't know. I think he'll be in that octagon.
I'm so surprised that Ulberg is treating it this way. Because if the way I view it is, I think he needs to wear a Poetan t-shirt tonight. He needs to be like the Metallica fan going to the Metallica concert. He needs Pereira to win so badly if he wants to fight for the belt. I think if Ankalaev wins, he ain't getting it. I really don't think he's getting it because I think Yuri and Khalil is going to be such a war and the fans are going to be so into it that it's almost, and it's unfair. And Ulberg's win was great. It's going to be forgotten about. It is going to be forgotten about the second that fight is over. But if Pereira wins, he's not fighting Yuri again because he already booped him twice. He just beat Khalil a year ago and wasn't at his best. And worst case scenario is that he doesn't fight Pereira. Pereira just says, F it, I'm done here. And then Ulberg fights either Yuri or Khalil for the vacant belt. So I think he needs Pereira to win this fight so badly. I know Ankalaev wants Ulberg if it was up to him, but I don't know how much say he's going to have in the matter. So yeah, I'm glad Ulberg's there, and I hope he can make a little bit of a splash. If he wants to run over a security guard and get in there and slap Ankalaev in the face, that wouldn't hurt him too bad, but that's not really his style. So we shall see how this all works.
But you know what's interesting as well? Why wouldn't they just put Dominic Reyes, Ulberg on this card and then do the Yuri Khalil fight last weekend in Perth, right? Because like Perth struggled to sell tickets. People wanted to see international fighters. And I think it would have been better for Ulberg to be on this card. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But they should have switched it around.
We'll see how it plays out. Because I don't even know if but again, and I've said this a bunch of times, Carlos Ulberg's next fight is going to be for the belt. He's not going to have to fight any other contender fight. It's just a matter of when he's going to fight for the belt. I think if Ankalaev wins, he's going to be waiting a while. He might have to wait a year before he fights again because Ankalaev is not the most active fighter on earth. Ramadan will be coming up pretty quickly in 2025 or 2026, excuse me. He might sneak a fight in there. So I don't know. Timing's going to have to work out pretty good for him, but that's what makes this main event so interesting. Shout out to The Last Stand, our good friend, for the super chat. Denis, are we going to see a 50-45 on this card?
Hard to tell, man. Like, I'm looking through this card and I go, there's so many guys here on big streaks, and it's hard to tell if somebody has like a crazy breakout performance here. I want to say, yeah, perhaps, but I don't know. A lot of these guys are finishers. There's a lot of finishers on this card. There's a lot of wily veterans on this card, and there's a lot of people coming in to this card versing veterans that want to make statements, but not in that kind of way. I feel like I reckon it might be a bit of a banger card today. I don't know. What do you think?
I don't think we're going to see a 50-45.
Yeah.
I think
probably more finishes or like submissions, right? Like,
yeah. And I think he's probably talking about like the last two fights if someone's just going to sweep him, but this also could kind of go with what Joseph Boza is asking as well, because we saw a 50-45 on a scorecard yesterday, and it was absolute suckery by Brian Minner, one of the worst scorecards I've seen in quite some time for Usman Nurmagomedov. Even though I did score for Usman, I don't think if all three judges scored at 48-47 Usman, no one would have had a problem with it. There would have been no robbery talk, none of that. But when you have a judge who sat there and watched Usman Nurmagomedov fight Paul Hughes yesterday and was like, nah, Paul Hughes didn't win a single round. You are high, my friend. You are high as hell. That was absolutely ridiculous. So I don't know what the meaning of the 50-45 question is, if we're going to see a sweep. But in the two title fights, I think Merab, just to bury the lead, I think Merab beats Corey Sanhagen, and I think it's a super, super close fight. Like one where we're like, ooh, maybe Corey won. I'm not sure. I think Corey's going to be super competitive tonight. And I don't think Ankalaev Pereira is going to the cards. So I'll save my pick for after. But what did you think of the Usman Hughes decision? And do you feel like it took a bit of steam out of UFC 320?
You got to send that judge to some kind of school with that referee from the other weekend at UFC Perth that just decided to continue the fight off his own like free will for no reason, and it happened. Yeah, I think that it was ridiculous. I think this is another thing, right? Like PFL, what are you guys doing? I love Dan Hardy. I think there's so much good that they do because there's like a secondary place people go to, but like the promotion for this fight, the timing of this fight, we just spent weeks without fights to talk about. Then they put it on right before like UFC 320. Then we don't even know what's really happening. And then afterwards, even though, it was this cool fight and Usman won, it's just like, this also kind of detracts from it. It's just like, I don't know. It was ridiculous. I feel like the fight deserves more. These two fights that these guys have deserves more. These both fighters deserve more, It just feels like they're not getting what they deserve here.
Do you think should they run it back again?
A third one? I don't know.
Do a third in a row, or do you want
a big one? If they can load the deck, man, because look, I'll be honest with you. I don't know how many people are watching these live. Like, I know like
nobody watched this card yesterday. Nobody.
Exactly. So why don't you do it at a time where everyone can watch it on a weekend where there's nothing happening? And why don't you treat it as like one of the most important, coolest fights that the real fans would love, and then put that on and put it up against like a UFC Perth or on a weekend when there's no UFC. And then that would be the first time people see that fight, even though it's the third time. And I would do that and sort of get fans. But I don't know if the PFL understand that. I don't know if they understand that. It's wild.
No, yeah. They don't understand anything. And they're going to, God, it's gonna drive me so
You
crazy.
spoke to the CEO dude, didn't you? Like the new
Damon
one.
did.
Yeah.
Damon
Okay.
did.
Yeah.
He's a pretty
What
sharp guy. Like, he's a big
sharp
fan of the
guy?
sport.
Okay.
Yeah, he's been in it for a while. He tried to buy the UFC before he saw something and didn't get to buy it, but he wanted it. He wanted to buy it. It didn't really work out. So he's a fan. I think I want to say he's like a brown belt. I was told he's like he trains and is
Okay.
pretty highly ranked. So yeah, he knows what he's talking about. The business is just in such a weird place, and I feel like every time PFL should get some traction, something like this happens, and it just makes them look bad. And I know it's not like
Yeah.
fully their fault, but they chose to go to Dubai, and everyone knew heading into this fight if Paul Hughes didn't finish Usman Nurmagomedov, and this is a somewhat close fight, Paul Hughes had no chance to win, just zero. And I still think, like I said, I scored it for Usman Nurmagomedov. To me, I think the right fighter won. I don't hate 48-47 Hughes either, but 50-45 sucks. 49-46. I went back and actually rewatched the fight today because I was even like, yeah, I don't hate 49-46 watching it live because a lot of those rounds are super close. And then I rewatched it. I was like, yeah, 49-46 sucks ass too. That's a shitty scorecard as well.
But dude, if you're both fighters, you're like watching the UFC and a lot of mid fighters getting the promotion, but like sure they're not getting paid what they deserve. People knowing who they are, people knowing their fights, and you're like, dude, we just had two fights, that technically are like the best sort of things that have happened in PFL, and no one knows a thing, and no one watched it. And now this happened, and you're Hughes, and you're like, and I didn't even, you know what I mean? And if you're Usman, you're like, I walk down the street, no one really knows who I am, in a general sense, outside of like the key areas that he's from.
Yeah.
You'd be
Shout out
like,
to Paul Hughes, man.
all right, how long of a career can you have? Like, how many of these bangers can you have? Like, it probably kind of kills you,
Yeah. And who's Usman gonna fight? Alfie Davis? Like, I like Alfie Davis.
Probably.
Nice guy. Won the tournament. Beat a really good fighter in his last fight. Like, do we really think Alfie Davis is gonna beat Usman Nurmagomedov? I don't think so. Just run it back. Just do a best of 7 at this point. Just have him run it back 7 times in a row. FA007, thank you. What's good? I think it's what's better for the bantamweight division, Dennis, and for the future of the division. Merab retaining or Corey Sanhagen taking the belt from him tonight?
Dude, it's an interesting one. I think that Sanhagen and O'Malley fight could be fun if he was the champion, right? And he's the A side. I think there's some fights there, like Corey was so close, or like there's some really big names, so you could kind of rematch them. I think it's one of those situations, fight by fight, he's getting a little bit better at like being a little bit more dangerous. So who knows, like if he goes out here, you're saying it's going to be a close one, and it could be a close one. But if he goes out here and finishes Corey, maybe this changes a little bit. But he is one of those guys where you're like, all right, well, if he beats Corey, like maybe we do like Uma if he wins, and then maybe like we'll do something else. I saw people asking him about moving up, but that's just, I don't know, him moving up to 5 Volkanovski. I don't know if that's kind of like when TJ wanted to move up, or DJ wanted to move up, like there's no real vibe behind that. So I think Corey does open up some interesting things there. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe Merab starts becoming more of a finishing machine. Maybe now he's picked up a bit more skill in the gym and more confidence in himself. Who knows? Could be one of those things. What do you think?
I don't know, man. I honestly don't know. Because, like, to me, if Merab wins tonight, like, no one's beating him. Like, if they fight Umar again, Umar's not going to beat him. He's just not going to. And I know Umar was banged up in that fight, but you best believe Merab was banged up in that fight too. He took that fight on a pretty quick turnaround and was not overly thrilled about having to fight in January, but did it anyways. And then kind of bounced back after that. So, but I mean, is he gonna, maybe he just fights Jan again and just is like, all right, I want to do this because I keep calling for it. But then after that, like, what is there for him? Is anyone going ballistic and hoping that Mario Batista beats Umar Nurmagomedov? And they're like, oh, now we can get that Merab Mario fight that we've been clamoring for. I don't know. So he's in a weird spot. He's in a very weird spot.
It is weird though that
he's dudes too. So it's weird.
Yeah, it's weird though that they're about to fight, in a couple of hours or whatever, and most people don't even know the fight's happening, right? And you're like, whoa, man. I was always wondering, like, was the O'Malley thing a real thing? Like, is O'Malley really a draw? But then I was thinking, and back, like, Umar, O'Malley, these were all fights that people were kind of like, whoa, okay, let's check this out. I feel like Corey, to me, one of the more interesting fights. I mean, all of those were interesting, but I think, to me, Corey is almost more interesting than this O'Malley rematch, and I feel like no one's talking about it. I feel like people don't really care, and it kind of shows you, where the division's really at now that these guys aren't involved as much with Merab. So we'll see.
Yeah. Thank you to Steven. Boys, Big Dennis, over under 10 beers should I sink lunchtime at the Sporting Globe? I'll let you answer that. Over under 10 beers.
Dude, that's definitely going to be over 10 beers. The Sporting Globe, a wonderful Australian institution. I was there in Perth having a beautiful steak with my good friend Brett Benetti. And I got to tell you, man, if you're under 10 beers, what are you even doing? You got to put the Globe and Sporting Globe, my man. And Steven, I want to see a photo of those beers. You got to tag me and Mike, and those better be Carlton Dries, dude, because those are the most aesthetic beers to have for a fight card like this. Keeps you going sharp and in shape. There's got to be over 10 beers, man.
Another question for you. Who's on morning after?
Great question, man. Morning after, we got Mike Heck is in the house. We're doing, look at this. Speaking of trilogies and stuff like that, Paul Hughes versus Usman, we're doing the double up here as well. I'm going to have Mike Heck on. Why don't I get a couple of friends on as well? Tune in. I can guarantee right now, me and Mike Heck are going to have a hell of a good time tomorrow morning. It should be good. And by the way, I'm going to see Zion today, Zion Williams. So I won't get a chance to watch the fight card live. So it's going to be my first reaction tomorrow morning after.
Oh, okay. Are we going to have a third, or are we still working on that?
A third what?
Are we going to have a third joining us, or?
I think you and me, and then I might get a couple of people popping through.
All right.
Yeah.
That works.
Yeah, I might mix it up. Last one, I think it was Dean Thomas and Brett Okamoto and Jed Mishu. Our friend Jed, and now I want to bring you in, and I want to see what's cooking. There's some stuff to talk about, man. So, you and me, when we get cooking, it's it's like Breaking Bad. We're in the kitchen. We've got to make sure we fulfill the orders before the show's done. So,
yeah. Oh yeah, we're smashing blue glass, my friend. That's what we're doing.
You're my Walter White, my man. So we gotta
get man. Boston Mike, Patchy Mix fighting for his job today.
He is, dude. He is.
You think he's fighting for his job?
I don't know, man. It's a fascinating situation. Like, he's all the way down on the prelim card. He's fighting this Jacob kid.
No, they bumped him up.
Oh, did they?
So yeah, he's in the middle prelims. They bumped Macy Chiasson and Ketlin back down, I think.
But you know these matchups. You know these matchups, Mikey. Like, this is a situation where they're like, all right, we got this guy from KSW. He's on these wins, 29 years old. Let's go the prelims or whatever. Let's get Patchy in there. If he is still a fraction of the fighter that he thought he was, he should beat Jacob. If not, like, let's build Jacob off Patchy. So I feel like, to me, that's the UFC not real. You and me know what the UFC would do with Patchy if they wanted to build him, right? They find like a more aging or someone they know he would beat that would kind of benefit him. Like, what is beating Jacob? Like, let's say Patchy goes out there and just annihilates this kid who nobody really knows in the Australian or American or really a lot of the other markets outside of the Polish market. Like, what's that going to do to him? I go, what's that really going to do, right? They could have given him like a veteran-y name or someone that with a little bit of name value, put him at the start of the main card. I don't think they're big on Patchy at all, bro. So I think they put Jacob in a good position, but I don't know about Patchy. What do you think?
Yeah, dude. It was I mean, the matchup just tells you everything. And I agree with you. I mean, this is about as good of, and I like Jakob a lot. This is about as good of a matchup as you could give Patchy Mix, because he's way bigger. The grappling exchanges are going to be incredibly fun. Jakob's kind of a wild man in there, but Patchy's a way better striker than him. So Patchy should be able to just like pick his ass apart, maybe get a knockout here. I'm picking Patchy to lose today. I'm picking
what's crazy? You know what's crazy about Patchy? He's only 32.
I know.
Crazy. And Jakob's 29, and I'm looking at this kid like he's like 10 years younger than him. But that's the thing with Patchy. He just looked that bad in his last fight. And you just do not know where he's at. This is going to be a big fight for Patchy. If you guys can tune in early, check this out. Definitely do, because we were talking about the divisions and stuff. Like, this is going to, can Patchy be a significant part of the division? I guess we'll find out very shortly.
I got to put a guy in timeout. I just got to do it.
The bad boy.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, stop spamming questions. Don't be that person who's like, when does the fight start? When does the fight start? Like, we'll tell you. Don't worry about it. They started 20 minutes. All right. Patchy's got to win though. I think honestly, I don't think outside of maybe, and I don't even think like Pereira has a lot riding on this fight. Like, I don't think he has a ton of pressure on him. I think he's playing with like complete house money because even if he loses, like, who gives a shit? You just go to heavyweight, win a fight, and fight for a third belt anyways. Ankalaev probably has more pressure than Pereira because I think if he loses, he's gonna have to win like 2 to 3 fights before he gets back.
Yeah.
Sanhagen has a lot to lose because he ain't getting another title shot after this one. And then Merab, I think, gets back pretty quickly if he wants to. I don't know if he gets it immediately, but he gets back there, especially with him getting more popular. Outside of the names I just mentioned, nobody has more pressure on them than Patchy today. Nobody.
Yeah.
Like, must win, needs to happen. If he doesn't win, like, I don't think they cut him, but they're just going to give him like Malcolm Wellmaker next to try to like knock his head off. And that's just like where he's going to be the rest of his career. So, and I've said this before, like, I think Patchy's a good fighter. I never was on the Patchy's the best bantamweight in the world trade. Like, I was never even close to that. And he's a fine fighter. And after the Batista fight, like, even though it was short notice, he said a lot of shit leading into that fight. Like, he's a journeyman. This is an easy fight. And then I'm going to go fight for the belt. I'm going to kill this man, even on short notice. And it's like, short notice, no problem. I've been training for this. I knew an opportunity would come. And then the second he lost, it was like, well, I took the fight on short notice. I did my best. I dared to be great. Hate that shit. Drives me crazy.
They put him in a good spot though. He was on all the promotion and stuff anyway.
Yeah, they gave him the chance, and then he got.
I reckon the UFC has. I reckon if Pereira loses, though, man, I don't know. Like, I was talking with a few of our buddies in the media industry behind the scenes this week, and the numbers have been a little bit down for this event, and people have a lot less interest in Pereira from my end when I talk to people after this loss. He was such a big star for the UFC. Like, if he loses again, I know, like, he's playing with house money and he's probably pretty sorted and whatever. Maybe he goes to heavyweight, but I think for the UFC, having Pereira win, becoming that big name again where people know, the casuals know who he is and stuff, could be a big win for them going into this whole Paramount deal. This division, you know, with Ankalaev, like you said, he fights very often. And when he fights someone, he takes away their mystique a lot. Like, it's not the most exciting fight. I don't know. It could be rough for the 205 division if he wins, even though he's a fantastic fighter.
Oh, he's the best light heavyweight in the world, but light heavyweight stinks. It's such.
He just makes everyone look bad, but it's hard to explain. You know, it's like After
just this, how good is Paul Craig, Dennis? Just how good was Paul Craig? That's question.
Why they kept him around, my man. They're just like, maybe he can still beat him again.
Shout out to Achilles. Enjoy all of the things. The triple threat guy over here.
That's it, brother.
Well done. Well done. You will be going crazy.
Hopefully you're not doing that and it's like a boring decision. You're like,
Etienne, what's up, boys? For years, I believe that Sanhagen was the uncrowned champ of 135. If he was given the nod in the Dillashaw fight and rematch Aljo, what are the odds he would have won and defended? One of those which door do you open type things, that MMA math. I don't know, man. It's so tough to say because he fought Aljo and Aljo killed him. Just tapped him in a minute and a half or however it was in the first round, just ran his ass over. So sometimes dudes are just like really bad matchups for you, or you just had a bad night. Who the hell knows? But interesting.
I think Corey's interesting, man, because he's evolving in front of our eyes. Like, I wonder what kind of Corey we get here. But you hit the nail on the head. It's like so much to lose. This is it. This is his crack. And if he doesn't make it happen, it's going to be hard. But if he doesn't make it happen, then that's kind of it. You know what I mean? But maybe he surprises us. You think he's going to – I think he's going to have one of those moments like a Nate Diaz, Leon Edwards moment where he hurts Merab, you know, and maybe Merab wins the fight, but we talk about how Corey had him hurt like in the third round, wasn't able to completely take him out, and Merab like recovers by the fourth. We'll see what happens. It's going to be – I hope it's not just one-way traffic. I hope we get a good fight here.
I want to be that hipster that picked Sanhagen to win, like straight up. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I do have a bet on Corey Sanhagen tonight for watch party purposes. I got him at plus 310. I feel like this fight is way closer than that. And Sanhagen's confidence is just, did I just freeze? What the fuck? I sure did.
It's all right, man.
What is happening here? This happened to me yesterday too. I don't know why this is happening. Can I come back?
Yeah, go.
Come on. Come on, you asshole. Oh, this is unbelievable.
That's all good, dude. I was gonna say, yeah, with Sanhagen, I don't know how you see him winning, but I mean, I feel like he could. There's opportunities in transition. Mike's gonna be back. I feel like there's opportunities in transition for Corey. By the way, this is like when WWE took over WCW. Welcome to Submission Radio. You're watching me on MMA Fighting. I feel like Sanhagen can catch him in some of those. I don't know if he can catch him those transitions. They're so micro, but I feel like he could land something or catch him in one of the scrambles on the ground because Merab does get kind of careless because he's got that crazy cardio. I don't know. See what happens. Okay, so later tonight we've got Buff Bagwell versus Disco Inferno. And let's see what other questions we got until Mike comes back. Hit me with your questions. Lazy Bed, what's up, my man? See you tomorrow for the big show. I'm still sending you that stuff. I'm sorry. I'm going to get to it very soon. Yeah, Alex Pereira versus Ankalaev. Denis has thrown our Mike out of the Royal Rumble. That's right, but he's going to come back in. It's going to be one of those things where both of our feet hit at the same time. And it turns out Mike is really the winner. Yeah, the Simpsons 2 movie. Dude, Master of the Universe Classics is asking about that because there's obviously Stonecutters. We do t-shirt. I don't know, man. I had someone talk to me about like maybe this is it. They do the second movie and then they kind of end The Simpsons. And I think that could be a good way to do it. I don't know about you guys, but the new episodes absolutely suck. But the original seasons was so good. So if they could find that kind of success and bring back a movie that way, that could be really cool. I hear Mike sighing in the back end.
I'm not happy right now, my friends.
He's really unhappy.
Because my camera's not working, but it's for some reason it's just not working in here.
That's weird. Why don't you do the old refresh and come back in?
Maybe I should. Hopefully the show continues on.
BKFC, by the way, Conor McGregor doing the 3-way face-offs. I love that, Brian K. We were all laughing about that last night, just watching clips. The guy's just an absolute machine. I love how he's like the promoter, but he's just like, with people when they do the face-offs. The funniest was when there were a couple of ladies doing the face-offs and he's still looking at them like he's facing off with them. Yeah, Connor's one of one. I'd love to see him come back at the White House. I just don't think it's going to happen. Like he still doesn't look like he's 100% in fight shape, but it's still a little while away. Hopefully he can get right and we can see him back. That could be a good way for him to go out. I think maybe if he can win against Michael Chandler and just kind of hang it up there at the White House, that could be a nice way for him to finish it up. So what else you guys got for me? Colby Covington going to fight by 2032. A friend of mine, Colby Covington, really nice guy behind the scenes. I don't know if he's going to fight. I just don't know. I think he's got a good career outside of the UFC now. He makes money, I think, doing his gambling stuff through his sponsorships. When you look up and down the rankings, I don't know if there's that many names that make sense for him. And, it's just one of those divisions where all these guys came in and it's kind of moved on. So I don't know. I think he's had so many great fights, especially those Usman fights. Maybe it's time for him to focus on maybe doing some broadcast stuff or focus on the poker stuff. But yeah, no doubt about it. He had some good wins. I think he's very underrated in the division. Do you think McGregor left any poker sugar for the rest of us in New Jersey? John Ray, man. Absolutely not. Have you seen him? I mean, the guy, I don't know. The guy is he's like, I can't wait for a Charlie Sheen documentary to come out about Conor McGregor on Netflix. That would be good. What role do Sanhagen's elbows in terms of cutting and his tricky ground game play? Yeah, Riley, interesting stuff there. When Merab starts doing this Tasmanian Devil stuff, one of the things him and John Wood have been working on is to fix up any of the gaps where he just leaves himself open recklessly. But because he's so tough and he's so durable, he's able to take most of the punishment that comes from people and sort of take away their souls, build momentum, and then beat them in fights. I think Corey Sanhagen is that one of one who has that high fight IQ that he can throw the right shot or put in the right submission. Like we saw in the last fight that he won in transition, where he can catch Merab in a weird or funky submission in between. I think one of his big chances will be that Merab, you know, he'll be moving forward, doing that Merab thing, leaving himself open, and then maybe Corey could land a decent shot, maybe potentially stun him and capitalize off that. If I was Merab, I would be a little bit more cautious against Corey Sanhagen in those transitions. I think the transitions are really Corey's best chances. Outside of that, and the transitions on the ground, and when he runs at him, yeah, it's going to be a rough one. If Merab just locks in the domination that he usually does, takes him down or starts dominating him, it's going to be hard, I think, for Corey to come back from that. But he is one of those guys that he's so focused, and he's got that high fight IQ. He might be dangerous until the very end if he can capitalize on those little gaps. But the problem with Merab is you can't let him build momentum. You got to get him straight away. He's one of those momentum fighters. Make no doubt about it. And if you don't stop him early, it becomes a real problem. You probably catch him later, but it becomes a real problem. Let's see what else we got. Don't think Merab has the IQ to win versus Corey. Definitely has the lower fight IQ, but he's like a superhuman alien, right? Gambler. Like he's not human. He's got the cardio. Unfortunately, the cardio and wrestling is usually always a successful formula. Denis's internet is from it is a Sunday here. It is a Sunday here, Elgato. Also, time change, so we'll see that impacts the show tomorrow. What else we got here, guys? Come on. The show's almost started. Mike's going to be back in shortly, I'm guessing. Yeah, Riley, argument could also be made that Sanhagen is Merab's only opponent that we've never really truly seen tied. Sorry, it was a big night last night, so this will be his true test. No, I think it's going to be a great fight. It's a great fight that not many people are talking about. This fight deserves better. But yeah, I think if you're buying a pay-per-view, you're really getting a bang for your buck here, especially over the last few events. 11 a.m. events in Australia. I think it's actually pretty good. More of 503s asking what it's like watching the events here. I think it's pretty good. You go over to the Sporting Globe with the boys, you can have 10 beers plus, and that's your main cards usually start around 12. And then you're kind of done by 3 o'clock and you can have the rest of your day. It's on a Sunday, but you can kind of party on a Saturday and then work your way through to a Sunday morning, and then watch the fights and then watch the main card. And then you can kind of spend time with your family. I think it's a little bit maybe easier than watching it through the nights whenever we used to do the state stuff. So it's actually pretty good timing. Onyx, what does Corey need to do in order to win? You got to stop the momentum early from Merab. He's going to be testing Corey. He's going to try and outstrike him. He's also going to try and outgrapple him. The second that he does both, he's like a robot and it's going to register and he's going to start going. So he's going to be testing his boundaries early with Corey. Corey has to hurt him. You know, me and Luke Thomas kind of spoke about this a little bit, but Corey has to hurt him and get his respect and stop the momentum early. Otherwise, you know, it just becomes a situation where Merab's going to start, you know, trying stuff, getting the confidence and dominating. So I think that if Corey can hurt him early, it might be a little bit more interesting. Duke Mad Dog, Corey's getting a title shot out of pity, similar to... No, I think Corey deserves this title shot. I think personality-wise, he's the most interesting he's ever been. He's hilarious dude with the skits. Skill-wise, he's the most prepared for this fight. But it is a situation where he doesn't get this... If this doesn't happen for him, he's... yeah, it's kind of done for him. And it's kind of sucky because it is probably one of the best champions that the division's ever had. So, yeah. Veronica Hardy, yeah, she's a bit of a veteran, Mikey T. I think the UFC will get behind her. I know she does a lot of broadcast stuff for them, like not on the actual broadcast, but she's on the scene interviewing people. She's definitely got like a very interesting story. She could speak about 25 different languages. She just needs to put out a performance here, a statement performance, and I think they're going to go behind her, especially with this Paramount deal and as they go into all these different countries. She is definitely a candidate for someone that the UFC can give kind of like bigger, easier matchups to be that kind of interesting fight on the fight card. And I think she deserves it. I was looking through her record, actually. It's crazy. Veronica's been in the UFC for ages. I was talking to Dan Hardy this week. I don't know if you guys saw that thing that we did, but I quickly had a chat about Veronica with him. Dude, she's 29 years old. She's been in the UFC now since 2016. That's insane. Good on her. Congratulations to her and Dan, and I'm interested to see what happens. Yeah, let's see what else we got. Yeah, I bet on Ankh by Sharma. It's hard, man. It's hard when I don't know. It's hard to it's hard to bet against Ankalaev because he had such a good performance in the first one. But I guess we'll see where Pereira is at. It's an interesting one. I feel like it's a fight that not many people know outside of the fight bubble that much. It's like Pereira's disappeared for a lot of people. It's so weird. He was the biggest name in the UFC. Why is it when someone fights Ankalaev, they go into this world? Hey, you're back. Up, he's out. Up, he's back.
Oh my God. Pain in the
All
ass.
right, he's back.
Now I'm on like super HD right now, and this is just not copacetic, but it's okay. We're back. Can you hear me?
Back.
Are we
I
live?
can hear you. We're
All
live,
right.
baby.
God damn it. All right, we're so back. Thank you so much. Appreciate all of you. So ridiculous. Carlton dry, always Dennis. How about that? Merab post-fight speech. What are we thinking?
It's a rough one, man. He might be the worst post-fight speech in the history of the UFC ever. If I'm John Wood, I'm not only working on cinching up those submissions and fixing up some of those gaps in transition, I'm also working on post-fight speeches. And you know what? If he can just kind of be clear about what he's doing and make sure that he doesn't sound like he's retiring, that would be appreciated.
Yeah.
I thought he was retiring.
I work so hard. Yeah. I've been training. I do all these things. I said I would win. And I'm going to win. Thank you to Aljamain Sterling, Ray Longo. He'll name every coach, every training partner. Fumi Nakuda. He'll name them all. It'll be spectacular. But people freaking love him, man. Like, he was so over at the weigh-ins yesterday. Like,
is it because he's like Vegas-y and it's Vegas, or
maybe? But like, he's come a long way. People were booing the shit out of him, like even before like the O'Malley fight. So I don't know.
Yeah, true. I feel like more people knew about that fight. I don't know. Anyway,
I don't know what that means.
I never said that, Herbert Green, and that was supposed to be between us.
Yeah, I heard everything. I'm just kidding.
2 inches, 3 inches. What's the difference?
Yeah, Mike swore like a Bostonian. I was really pissed off. I wish you could hear I probably wouldn't have a job if you could hear what I was actually saying.
I heard you tell us the stream out. You think you're better than me?
Yeah, you think you're better than me, son of a bitch. I love Merab. I just love Corey more.
He's very lovable, man. He's a hilarious guy.
Have you been bulking on the haggis? I don't know what that means, but if you mean have I been hitting the weights? Yes.
Nice.
It's been, dude. Yeah. I got back in today. I missed like all this week and it really pissed me off. But I woke my kid up early and I was like, we're going. I have to go and you're coming with me. I don't care what's happening. I know you want to sleep, but you're not sleeping. Sorry. I have to work out today or I'm going to lose my mind.
You taking him with you? That's awesome.
He usually works out. I told him he didn't have to come today. Or he didn't have to work out today because he had golf today. And then we played 9 holes after. So he did get outside and get a little bit of work.
Awesome.
So what else? Riley, both title fights are big questions in fight IQ. I think game plans will play massive roles for both Pereira and Sanhagen. I think Pereira's. What do you think Pereira's like game plan is? Like I rewatched the first fight earlier this week. If you're thinking about doing that, I highly suggest you don't because it's not as fun. It really is not as fun as you think it is. It doesn't age gracefully at all. It's pretty rough. But my biggest takeaway might be the same as yours. So if Alex Pereira called you right now and be like, Denis, from the first fight, like, what should I do in this fight? What would you tell him?
Just got to hit Ankalaev, man. You got to tighten up that striking, hit him early. It's one of those situations where he was, who knows, man, if that hand was cooked and he couldn't throw the shots properly. But yeah, he was just moving back the whole time. He was letting Ankalaev catch him on the fence, and he was so focused on stopping that takedown. He was ending up in that weird position up against the fence. And it's kind of like you got to throw that out a little bit. Hurt Ankalaev, get his respect, capitalize. And just really sort of, not let Ankalaev get into the rhythm that he did last time. I have a feeling Ankalaev is actually going to be better on this one. Like he's got all the information now down on Pereira. And I think like people don't talk about the fact that he was going through like Ramadan or whatever. So he was like cutting weight and not properly eating and stuff. Yeah. Pereira's just so open, man. You can't just let a guy come in and do that to you. I think there's just so many gaps for Ankalaev, dude. I don't know. What do you think is the key thing? Because the funny thing is, like, he was landing the leg kicks. Like, you look through the stats, you're like, yeah.
And it didn't really affect Magomed at all.
No, it didn't. That's the problem. Because some guys can wear the leg kicks. That's the problem. Some guys are, you know, battle tested and they can wear leg kicks. And yeah, I don't know.
I think this fight's be very fun.
You think it's going to be fun?
Very, very fun. Yeah. Because
if he can go out there and just jam him at the start, Pereira, and just be like, hey, man, F you, this is legit what's going on, I think that would really benefit him.
He's going to go out and chuck him. He's going to go right after him. Unfortunately, that might not be a very good thing at the end of the day, but his only chance to win this fight is if he goes after him and tries to kill him.
Yeah.
Honestly.
And he might get taken out by Ank because he's got a big hammer on him. So
very, very possible.
Yeah.
Very, very possible. So I do think these guys are going to get after him more. There's a little bit of meat on this bone this time. There's a little bit more heat to this one than there was in the first fight. So
yeah, it's the most pathetic little argument you've ever seen in your life over Google Translate. Like, guys, no one cares about your little stupid argument. Like, either fight on the spot or just move on. Like, they're just like, and then I said this. It's like, it's like, ugh.
No, you were hiding. No, I wasn't. Yeah, you were. I know you were.
It's like, guys, you're standing right here. You got a problem.
Hit him
and we all know Ankalaev doesn't talk shit, and you know, like Pereira, like he holds grudges, but I don't know.
We are really we turn to you. We are getting close. We do have another super chat. Do we have? Yep, we'll get to this one, and then we will make our double predictions here. We'll make our bonus predictions, and then we'll run down our main card picks. But Steven asked, Denis just casually saving the pre-fight show. Your The Bachelor degree is so scary. The man can knock you up and also smarter than you. God, here he is. I love that guy.
Is he smart? I don't know.
I think he's pretty smart. He is a fascinating guy.
Maybe not fight IQ, maybe just university IQ.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Maybe he could teach a class. Maybe Professor Prohashka could be coming our way.
I love that. He needs that IQ today against Khalil, I'll tell you.
I cannot wait for that fight, man.
Imagine he comes out completely different after going to university.
He comes out with glasses. He should come out with a graduation hat on. Being
the little jacket with the little things on the sleeping with the students. So like, yeah, this guy is a professor.
Yeah, very smart guy. All right. So we got 14 fights upcoming, Denis. I ask you, when the night is over and the dust has settled, what will be the bonuses for UFC 320?
Far out, man. They got some big fights here. Ooh, you got to think like Merab performance of the night, probably. Yuri. Like I'm going to go with, this is a hard one because this kind of goes into our predictions a little bit. I feel like that Yuri and Khalil fight, there will be a performance bonus there. Whatever that way we predict that shakes out. It's going to be a fight of the night or whatever. And oh man, do you reckon anything? Do you think the prelim card or the early prelim card gets one, Mike? One or two? Like there's a few names there.
Atiba Gauthier is absolutely getting one because he's gonna hurt this man real bad that he's about to fight. I gotta look. Check out our good friends at FanDuel. Atiba Gauthier minus 1,800 on FanDuel, and I bet if you look on best fight odds, you will probably see him even higher. He might even close as the biggest favorite in the entire card. So, or not maybe the biggest favorite in UFC history by the time this fight starts. So, yeah, Gauthier is definitely getting one because it's going to be vicious. And
it's hard to tell. I don't know how they give out the bonuses these days. Is it like to fighters lower on the card that need the money? Or does it go to the actual best fights? Do you know how they do it?
I don't know, man. They gave Alonso Menafield and Julius Walker fight of the night on a card, and that was one of the worst light heavyweight fights I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So you never know.
It definitely doesn't go to the best fights, but anyway, we'll see what happens.
I'll say Gauthier gets one. I'll say Joe Pyfer gets one.
Joe Pyfer? You reckon
because he's Joe Pyfer. He's Joe Pyfer. He's the face of Contender Series. If Joe Pyfer does anything, if Joe Pyfer wins 30-27, Dana might give him a bonus because Dana loves him so much. So
Yeah. They'll be like, oh, he took out a Russian guy. Although, the dude that he's fighting, yeah, he's not a boring guy. But anyway,
Gautier Pyfer. God, I don't know. It's tough, man.
I mean, if Pereira gets it done, surely he's getting one. Pereira gets it down, he's going to get one because you're going to get a stoppage here if he wants to win, right? So you got to give Pereira one, even though he doesn't really need the cash.
Yeah.
If Ankalaev wins, I don't know. Maybe he gets a performance.
Boy, this is tough. This is tough. I don't know if we're about to get Brogan Walker versus Veronica Hardy. Speaking of massive favorites, Veronica Hardy, it's like minus 800 heading into
the UFC since 2016. How about that?
It's crazy.
Almost 10 years. Yeah. Far
out. Okay. Let's do our main card predictions before we get on out of here. We kick things off in the middleweight division. The aforementioned Joe Pyfer taking on Abus Magomedov. Let us pull up the betting odds courtesy of our friends at FanDuel. And Joe Pyfer minus 250 to come back on Abus Magomedov plus 205. Who you got and how?
I got Joe Pyfer here. I think that it's going to be another Joe Pyfer situation where he hurts Magomedov, but doesn't quite finish him, and then it goes to like a decision win for him. What do you think?
Joe Pyfer KO round 2.
Okay, well that would be fun.
Round
Good
2
for Joe.
He needs to happen. I don't know why. Like there's.
I don't know. He just
maybe he in the first fight of the main card. He's gonna win in a minute, man.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see what happens here. But Joe Pyfer's kind of a main card mainstay now. We go to the featherweight division, and wow, talk about crazy betting odds. Yusuf Zalal minus 490. The comeback on Josh Emmett plus 380. I want to bet on Josh Emmett so bad. There's a part of me that kind of wants to pick him too, representing us 40-year-old bald men out there, but
do it, man.
I can't. Yusuf wins by a probably forgettable unanimous decision. Third round looking very similar to the Cater fight. And I think Zalal, while victorious and he won't care at the end of the day, he will be booed during his post-fight speech.
Yeah, that's can you bet on that?
I would love to bet on that.
Who gets booed? Because then it's Merab all the way, probably. No, because he's in Vegas. They like him there. Yeah, I think the Moroccan Devil is a good pick, but I'm still going to go with Josh Emmett. I think that this guy can surprise and he packs a ton of power. But dude, this Yusuf fella, man, he's like on a crazy run. If he wins it, he's actually going to be like a big pro. Like he's going to be up there. He's going to get himself in a nice little spot. Couple of fights to go before he maybe even gets into that.
Delusion's a powerful thing. And Yusuf saying if he goes out there and finishes Josh, that he's getting a title shot.
Yeah.
A little crazy. I mean, respect it. And I like Yusuf a lot. He's a good dude, really funny, great personality. But yeah.
But if you know Lerone Murphy and he's getting screwed over after that chat that I had with Alex Volkanovski last week, like you wouldn't be surprised at the UFC. He's like, no, stuff Lerone Murphy. Let's make him fight another random person for no reason. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Zalal wins. They'll be like, oh, Zalal Murphy.
Yeah, they might go to Aljo. Who the hell knows? It wouldn't surprise me.
He just got married, huh? So I wonder. Yeah,
I think today maybe.
Yeah.
Today's actually the day, maybe
Congrats,
tomorrow.
Aljo, yeah.
Congrats to Aljo. Let's go to the featured bout. Cannot wait for this one. Yuri Prochazka, the minus 200 favorite. Come back on Khalil Roundtree plus 168. Dennis, who wins?
I'm just gonna go with my heart on this one. I feel like my head says it's going to be Khalil. I feel like Khalil is just a little bit more technical. And I feel like he'll capitalize on the fact that Yuri's defense is so minimal. And I feel like Yuri's going to go out there, leave himself open. And while he might have some initial success, Khalil will sort of read that information and potentially stop him. But I just really feel like after this break, this university thing, and with this kind of being, we didn't really talk about it, but is this kind of like Yuri's last shot at gold? I think that, I don't know. I have a feeling he might actually come out a little bit more technical and a little bit more reserved than what we are used to from him. And I feel like he might be able to stop Khalil. It will be a huge win for him. So yeah, I'm going to go with Yuri round 2. TKO. Yeah.
Yep. I think he folds him in round 2. But that fight's going to rule all 7.
Yeah, that's going to be a crazy fight. But yeah, recovering from it and stuff, we'll see what that means for Ulberg. Maybe he can, who knows?
Yes. Veronica Hardy is just doing what Veronica Hardy does, gets a takedown in full guard, throwing very little light punches. And this is what the next 11 minutes and 44 seconds are going to look like, ladies and gentlemen. So don't you worry. It's all good. Co-main event for the UFC Bantamweight title. We have the champ, Merab, really the minus 405 favorite. Comeback of Corey Sanhagen plus 320. I will say this right now. It will not shock me if Corey Sanhagen wins. I saw some people say, is this the biggest upset in UFC history? No, not even close. Not even in the top 5. Might not even be in the top 10. But I think Sanhagen has he has a way better chance than people are giving him credit for. Unfortunately, I think he loses a 48-47 in a spirited bout to steal from Jed Meshew. This is going to be Corey Sanhagen fighting with the elite, hanging around, but just not getting the win.
Yeah, it's interesting the size difference as well, isn't it, going into this one? I wonder how it's going to play into it. But yeah, I think it's going to be one of those.
Oh, Brogan with the takedown. Oh, and Veronica.
Oh, Brogan's got it down.
We're scrambling down there. Now Brogan's on top. This is insane.
I know. I was going to say that I think it's going to be one of those fights where Corey has moments where he potentially kind of lands good stuff or gets Merab in a dangerous position, but then Merab just shows us he's superhuman, goes through that, and at the end of the day comes out victorious. But I think, yeah, Corey gets a lot of respect from this fight, like he said, from all the people that thought he can't hang in there with Merab. And yeah, man, I think you could still use Corey in the future. I would still like Corey versus O'Malley after this if he has a good performance against Merab.
This Mark Sanchez story is insane. I don't know if this is for all the American football fans. Like, I'm sure you all have seen what happens with Mark Sanchez. He got stabbed and everything, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, what happened?" And now Mark Sanchez got arrested at the hospital for battery with injury and unlawful entry of a motor vehicle and public intoxication. This is friggin' nuts. This whole story is insane.
Bit of a dirty Sanchez, hey?
Let's go to the main event. So we're all here for, and then we'll get out of here. Magomed Ankalaev, the minus 245 favorite to come back on the former champ, Alex Pereira, plus 200. Denis, who wins?
It's just hard to go against Ankalaev here, man. I think he will be better in this fight. I think he's got all his data down here, and I just think it's just not enough time for Alex Pereira to make the adjustments that he needs to make. I know that he was in Sydney doing side quests, hurt hand, and a neurovirus, and this, that, and the other, but it's just for Pereira, he needs to basically go out there and stop Ankalaev early. And Ankalaev has an incredible chin, and he's very dangerous in exchanges. So for me, I think Ankalaev's going to go out there. I think that this version of Pereira might have a little bit of success, a little bit more success here and there. Like we might get those kind of Sanhagen moments like against Merab. But yeah, I think Ankalaev is going to run away with it. And I like you and me have spoken about it for a really long time, and other people across MMA media, like him or not, Ankalaev is, the best light heavyweight in the world. So, and he's in his prime. So yeah.
Yeah. No tap, by the way, upon replay. No, Veronica was yelling it was a tap. There was no tap. So there will be no appeal. There will be no nothing. I think Magomed Ankalaev gets it done, and I think he knocks out Alex Pereira tonight.
Yeah.
Round 4.
Dude, if he knocks out Alex Pereira, though, I think that does something for Ankalaev, and then I would love to see the UFC and Ankalaev come together and figure out a way to promote him better and figure how can we position this man so people watch him,
As far as my bets for the night go, I bet Corey Sanhagen plus 310. I have Ank Pereira fight to end in round 4, 5, or go to decision at minus 150. Yuri Prochazka inside the distance at minus 125. And Joe Pyfer versus Abus Magomedov over 1.5 rounds at minus 142. So that's it. We out of here. We done. Thank you all very much. You're all the best. Denis, you are the best.
You're the best, brother.
On your show tomorrow. And Jed will be coming over to the Casa and watch party, 9:30 p.m. Eastern time. We will have way better cameras, way better stuff going on. We'll be out of the command center. We'll be in the living room watching the festivities. And then Jed and I will do the post-fight show from the same couch right there. We're just going to turn off the watch party, and then we're going live on the post-fight show minutes after. It's going to be a fun time. Join us, 9:30 p.m. Eastern time for Atiba Gauthier his fight, and then throughout the main card, the 2 title fights and everything. So Denis, enjoy the fights, my man. You guys all enjoy the fights as well.
Let's go the Phoenix Suns, defeat the Pelicans, embarrass them here in Australia. I'll be there live.
Oh, sweet. Enjoy, my man. And enjoy the rest of your night, everybody. We'll see you later on. Let's have some fun, huh?